Here we are. It is the modern Fowler Scrum. We have Sam, nominally from the Southwest, but not quite. We have Will, we have Michael, we have Brent. Yes, Brent was first in. Brent, how are things going with you, apart from the flash flooding that you're encountering?
Yeah, so what am I up to? Not done much this morning, but yesterday I spent a lot of time on getting the charities data in.
Oh, right.
I managed to get, I think, about 70–80% of it into tables, but there's a couple of the tables which I spoke to you about on Slack that the data seems to be corrupted. So I need to spend a bit more time looking at that.
Well, let me just, those two tables, are they tables that have like critical information that we really care about, like the addresses, or are they kind of peripheral ones?
Unfortunately, the one with the most issues is actually the most critical of all.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but like you were saying, I'm going to speak to Seb to see if they've got any advice. But I'm also going to try pulling in some of the older versions of the data because it goes back a year.
Yeah.
Because the Python scripts have not had any updates.
You were saying, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if the format's changed because I know that some of the table layouts seem to have changed as well. So, yeah, so I'll look at that. Yeah, I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have today, but I do hope to join the local support meeting later this afternoon.
Great.
But yeah, that's about it from me.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brent. Wonderful. Let's go on to, gosh, even more people. We've got Sigu and Rishi. Welcome. Let's go on to Michael now. Hey, Michael, how are things going with you?
Hello. So I'm trying to speak faster like Sam, and
you have a beautiful, it's so easy to understand what you say, Michael, because you're calm, you don't say too much, and it's, sorry.
It's early here. I haven't done anything yet. This is literally 7 a.m. and the sun just came up. So I probably will look into getting the data out of the async voter Slack command today. But I think most of all, just speaking faster.
It's the way of the devil. I think I guess ultimately when we're communicating with our computer overlords, who you're in the process of instructing, they'll probably appreciate that because they can play it back and slow it down really easily. But good show. Rishi is also here. Hey, Rishi, how are things going with you? Rishi,
yeah, things are going okay. Sorry, delays on my end with the controls. My bad. Just trying to sit in for some voting. AV 102 week 3 homework.
Wonderful, great. Thanks, Rishi. Good to have you with us. Yeah, we'll see if we can get a vote in on the end. Sigu is also here. Hey, Sigu, how are things going with you?
Hey, things are fine. I managed to open a pull request for RFM, working on the feedback after this. That was, that Robert gave. What else? In the morning, I was working with a friend of mine. Thanks to Sam for showing me how to do the stories, the epics and the like. So you are creating pivotal stories for a project that you're supposed to do with him. Yeah, so that was my morning.
Wonderful.
Afternoon, I will be looking at the Jitsi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll start with the RFM. I'll start with clearing up the RFM, then the Jitsi. Oh, and one other thing, the events. Showing the calendar of events on local support. Yeah, I'll be interested in doing that. So maybe you can have that discussion in the evening during the meeting.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yep.
Great.
That's all.
Excellent. Thanks, Sigu. Gosh, that's website 1, local support, and RFM. Gosh, everybody don't overwhelm yourself. Too many projects will burn out. Careful. But I mean, I love it. But we all work-life balance, work-life volunteer balance. Will, how are things going with you?
Good, thanks. I'm making some progress with WISE tests, which are getting more permutations. So I'm figuring out how to factor different permutations into the existing tests. Yesterday I paired with Robert on RFM.
Yeah, that's what we're agreeing to call it because we can't pronounce it.
Yeah. Okay. And then this afternoon I'm going to look at a pull request or whatever issue that we started yesterday on my own.
Great stuff. Wonderful. Thank you, Will. Excellent. Let's go on to me then. It sounds like we've got no blockers so far. I have split. I've actually managed to get a couple of things done this morning. One, I've got Loader.io running load tests on the staging instance of the main Agile Ventures site and generating the memory errors that we get on the production thing. So that's a useful tool to have and to help try and track down these memory errors. I've also got, I've got, using this new middleman deploy framework, I've got a new landing page up, which is one potential solution for actually solving those performance errors by moving the the landing page to be a static site. I mean, I've got it up. I now need to put all the CSS in it and so on. I am slightly blocked on. I'm trying to run this local performance measuring to hunt for memory leaks, and using this is called it's called benchmark derailer, and it's kind of failing up as an issue. I'd love to get that working as well. I'm just sort of going through a whole list of different things to kind of try and hunt down the performance issues we seem to have on the main website one site. Then I've now I've put that to one side, and I've now switched to local support, where I'm trying to see if we can get set up with Let's Encrypt SSL for local support. The client is keen to reduce the costs. Our main costs are paying Heroku for its old expensive SSL setup. So I mean, I've managed to do that on a few sites before, so I don't see that as too problematic. But that may even be worth jumping a ticket out and voting on that. Roundup from yesterday. Async voter. We had a good kickoff meeting there. Nice progress. Nice to see that project re-emerging. Other things coming up today. We've got the marketing meeting at the top of the hour. It's Thursday, so local support meeting already mentioned, and various other things that are all in the general channel. Excuse me, in events. So we've got Rishi was also mentioning this stuff, the transcripts and things, and maybe Rishi, if you hang around, we can look at that together at the end. Did anybody have anything that's blocking them that they forgot about, or any other things they wanted to mention before we move on to the non-Scrum portion?
No, thank you.
Okay. I think the only thing I will mention is I'm planning to take the week off next week. So if people are interested in helping run scrums and mobs and things, do reach out, and I'm happy to guide you through things like that. I might be around a little bit next week, but I should be working on the house. That's what I promised my wife. And so if I end up in here doing too much, then I'll get in trouble. So that's Scrum over. People who are like scrummed out can pop off. Don't feel you have to stay. Let's do a vote for Rishi. What I'm inclined to do is I was just about to create a ticket for this issue of updating the HTTPS on what's it called, on local support. So let's just share the screen there. Here's the local support board. I've just been doing a search for, do we have an existing ticket on the HTTPS? I don't think, or at least like they're all just, it's mentioned everywhere because I wonder if we've mentioned Let's Encrypt before. No. So I'm going to create a new story here, which is upgrades, or at least the first instance is like get Harrow CN develop. So Harrow Community Network is the on Let's Encrypt SSL or HTTPS experiment. And so this is kind of, I guess let's put it as a chore, really. So at the moment, only what's it called, production is on HTTPS using old, expensive Heroku tech. Client is keen to reduce costs. The fastest way might be using Let's Encrypt. Need to try it somewhere, so why not on the development server? And I have done this. It's funny. Like, Let's Encrypt, you have to like redo it every 3 months, and I keep doing it, and but then it sort of 3 months is like that special magical time after which it's kind of like disappeared from my brain. So I keep on having to look it up again. I have got a blog post from somebody which I think is reasonably reliable. Go on, Brent.
Yeah, so I've installed Let's Encrypt, not on Heroku, but on a number of just like Debian installations. And there are versions of the script which automatically update themselves every well, it does it every month actually, but then it checks to see if the current one is within something like 20 days, and if it is, it then refreshes it. So I don't know if there's something similar for Heroku.
Yeah, so I've also installed Let's Encrypt on. I've got them on like Ubuntu boxes for several, for like both the async voter, which is up for renewal. That's another action item for me this week before I go on holiday, is to make sure that all of the other ones are updated. Yeah, I would very much like to set all of these things to auto update, which I think in principle can be done with cron jobs. I think the only thing standing in my way is that maybe there's sometimes jerry-rigged way in which I've set it up. But yeah, that's another. That would be a huge win for saving my time.
Yeah,
automation.
I always use the same script, so I'll search out the GitHub where I got it from, and maybe it's usable in Heroku. It's definitely be usable on the async voter one.
Cool, wonderful. That would be very much appreciated. But so let's restrict this vote, if we may, to just getting I can't spell. To just getting Let's Encrypt working on the Heroku for Haro See and Develop, for which there is a description of how to do that in this blog post. It does require some changes to Rails in that, and I've done this. I did this for the main Agile Ventures website. In that, in order for Let's Encrypt to work, the site has to respond correctly to a challenge from Let's Encrypt, where it says like, okay, give me a token, and it asks on a certain endpoint. And it doesn't require Rails per se; it just requires, an HTTP response. But given that we have Rails running the server, that's something I've added before. So I would be tempted to add that code from Agile Ventures to local support. Does anybody have any questions about this ticket?
No.
Is everybody happy to vote on it? I'll go, and if they are, I'll slap this into the local support channel. Here we go. Voter. The new voter with a new exciting help functionality. Woo! And multi-vote functionality too. Goodness me. So this is add HTTPS to develop server. Okay, so that's there in the Voti channel. Feel free to go ahead and Rishi asking for a link to the chat in the story. So the voter thing has also linked the story. If you want to go through there, I was just going to go and grab the little bit of code from, for those who are interested. Is it in static pages? Yeah. So this is the code that I used in Agile Ventures website 1, so that to do the kind of create the response there. Will, obviously you're maybe not familiar with the project or the things, feel free to click no opinion. Rishi, when you're ready, assuming that you're in the channel, let me just see if I can pull you in there. Yeah, I think you're not in the channel. I'm just pulling you in. Yeah. And I was just going to put in that I'm sensing there's a movement to say that the descriptions in the tickets are sometimes insufficient. I'll that as an action item for myself today. We will need some code like this. All right. So Brent and Michael have voted. How are you doing there? Yeah, Richard. Yeah, with Slat, there's a series you have to like say it goes into a preview mode on the channel, and then you have to like, no, I really want to see it. Anyway, yeah. So I think we've got 4. I assume Will is abstaining, or maybe not in the channel. Would you like an invite to the channel, Will?
Not yet.
No, that's perfectly reasonable. In which case, I'll go ahead and do the reveal, because you'll be able to see all the results in my window here. So yeah, Brent and Michael have gone for medium. Rishi's gone for an opinion. I've gone for simple. Yeah, I think having done it before, I was thinking, yeah, it should just work. But I also have tied myself in strange knots with Let's Encrypt before, so I'm very happy to concede to medium on this occasion. So let's go with medium there. Yeah, and Rishi says he's leaning towards medium. So there we go. That's that vote done there, Rishi. So you'll have for your homework assignment, you'll have the link from the what's it called, the pivotal in the channel, and then also I'll just pop in the link as well from the our Scrum that we're just finishing, which you also need. Indeed. So okay. So I think that's our vote done. We would be finished, but Rishi, yeah. Do you want to chat about the? So this is the AV102 course, the transcripts, the book stuff, and what have you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely here.
Yeah. So let's move on to that. So some of you might not necessarily know we have this course running, which is sort of a teaching. It's a teaching assistant sort of prep course for taking part in the massively open online class that we run, which is called Agile Development Using Ruby on Rails. Now, I also noticed edX is like signing me out every half an hour. It's like, come on, just leave me logged in, please. Anyway, so that's this course. If I know, Brent, you're keen to take the main course itself.
I am, yes.
Yeah, this is kind of a course designed for those people who've already completed that course. But if you want information about that, that's there. So it would sort of we moved the main course back so that we could run this one first. Now, what Rishi has done is worked on transcripts for the course. So we've got a repo that's specific to that. And we've got lots of videos, some of which are updated. The older ones are me speaking very, very fast with lots of umming and ahhing, as Federico no doubt absolutely hates from the podcasts. I'm working on it. I want to be a real communicator. Now, so I'd put up some transcripts, and then Rishi, you've put in various pull requests for transcripts. And I guess the thing that's confused us is that actually a lot of the videos, they had transcripts, and then they had also automated transcripts, but the transcripts were set as like English UK, and the automated ones, which were not very good, were set as English US. And so I guess we've got. I mean, should we just go ahead and merge all of these? I'm not sure.
That's what I'm thinking, because the ones in the pull requests, they were like the product of reviewing the transcript once as the video was playing and kind of cleaning it up. But they're not perfect by any means. They're still kind of idiomatic issues.
Sure.
But as like a first pass or a rough draft, they're pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think you've got merged permissions now. So I would say, so this is, and I don't know necessarily if Will or Brent will be familiar, but so one of the nice features of the edX courses is you have this video, and then it has a transcript to the side of it, and you can actually sort of click on the part of the transcript, and it will take you to that. See, it's moving along here at the bottom. In principle, as you're playing this, I have this on times 2, of course. That's not how fast I normally speak, I hope. But so yeah, these all run along, but you have to make the transcript and merge it in there and so on. There's this other thing of, I would love to give you, Rishi, direct access to all of these videos, but they've ended up on my personal account. What I really need to do is move them to the, what's it called? To the Sourcebook account. But that involves me downloading all of them and then re-uploading them, because YouTube won't let you move videos between 2 accounts. And I haven't had time to do that. But yeah, I would be very, if you want to go ahead and merge these PRs, possibly on the next one, I had hoped, I started making plans to re-record some of the poorer quality videos, but I just haven't had time.
I think that would be an awesome idea, because you now have a beard.
Yeah, well, the beard could be added. I mean, we could, of course, design some sort of AI to, like retroactively add the beard to me in these videos. But there we go.
It makes your face look fuller, the beard.
That's very kind of you to say so. Flattery will get you absolutely everywhere. So Rishi, yeah, I mean, I would go ahead. I think having those transcripts in there, I mean, that's a good resource and hopefully we'll use it to improve the. Well, what I often do to improve the videos is I take my ad-libbed one, I get a transcript from it, I tighten the transcript up, I put it on the monitor above me here, and I use it as a teleprompt to re-record the thing. So
I figured as much, because one of the transcripts very early on, it kind of revealed something of the process, because just from looking at what was actually presented in the video and what was in the transcription, it was like, oh, okay, this looks almost more like a script than a transcript.
Yes. And I think there's generally been positive responses to the scripted versions, which like they usually go from about 10 minutes down to about 6 minutes. The 4 minutes of me going are taken out, and it's a big improvement. Is there anything else I can help you with, Rishi, in this regard for the AV102 or the textbook? Or I really appreciate all the effort that you've been putting into it. I'm only sorry that I haven't had more time to devote to it. Anything else that I can help you with?
Just if we could confirm some of the open issues. I think when I went through the list, it seems like maybe 2 or 3 of them are still open. The rest of them are pretty much addressed.
You mean the issues in this list?
Yeah. So now that I can close them, is it okay if I make a pass through them? And
oh, totally. Please do. Yeah. And if you see things that are fixed, close them out. If you think things that need my attention, at Tansaku them, and I'll try and if you give me 2 or 3 that are like these are high priority, I can try and focus on those.
Yeah, I think there was only 1 or 2 that still remained, and those were already the things that kind of came up very early on in the course. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but we'll probably be running the course again next year. So yeah, they'll go around. Excellent. Anything else on the textbook side or anything at all?
No, you mentioned a new version of the textbook coming at some point in the future. So
yeah, I think Armando is planning a sabbatical next year, and he's also going to be spending some time in Europe, and so we're going to hopefully get some time to work together on a second version of the textbook, in which we will be looking over I think not just the textbook itself, but also how we receive errata on the textbook and so on and so forth. So at the moment it's kind of a bit, but we'll have to resolve that next year.
Cool. Yeah. Great.
Was that Michael?
Oh, I was saying, are they going to include about microservices? Because I know Armando said he was working on that.
Yeah, I think there is certainly the hope to have a microservices assignment
in the course.
Yeah, as well as some more JavaScript stuff. So yes, we will see. I mean, the best laid plans. We'll have to see. I think putting the assignments together is often trickier than one imagines. Certainly maintaining them is quite challenging. So I think that's our time. I don't know. Was anybody looking to find a pair partner right now?
No, I just wanted to mention something about the Slack.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So when we get the notifications of these meetings, I'm always having to choose between the two. The 2 things come up, isn't it? The Hangout and the YouTube link.
Yes. And
I guess I've learned that the top one is always the Hangout.
Right.
I just think that could be. Yeah.
Right.
One could say Hangout, one could say YouTube, and that would be.
Yes, they do say it at the beginning, but I think because the problem is that the amount of text involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of text.
There's a lot of text, and so it's that's great feedback, and I can. Yeah, so what we have, the second one says video live stream 4, but it has the complete title of the thing, which I kind of made quite long to try and be extra welcoming. But so I think potentially what we could, oops, no, don't join the Hangout. No, stop. Oh gosh. I think, what we would, it might be sensible just to this could just say video live stream, really, couldn't it?
Well, actually the live stream is the bit that confuses me a bit.
Right, I guess, so the thing is that this is with YouTube, the link that this is, if we now click on this one, it's actually going to be the live stream of us talking.
Yeah, but okay, so there's nothing, the problem is that the top one has nothing more live, looks less live than the one below it, which says live.
No. Right.
Language.
Yes, yes. So I mean, yeah, this one is the teleconference hangout, and this one is the after the event has finished, it will be the video link, but during the event, it's the live stream.
Yeah.
But yes, that's excellent feedback, and I'm now that we have the Agile bot in Ruby, and it's just much easier to change. So yeah, I'll definitely go and do that. I mean, the wrinkle is that it gets the, gosh, what is it? The way in which the title is kind of configured is funny, but excellent feedback. Thank you. I know both Brent and some other people have got confused about which links to press on, and that is, it's, you know, you should everybody read. It's not Douglas Hofstadter. It is Douglas Hofstadter, The Design of Everyday Things, which is all about if you're having a problem with something, it's not your fault. It doesn't mean anything bad about you. It means that the designer has a problem. Remember that. Remember that. It's always for the designer to improve. Okay, I will stop talking and go and make some tea and get ready for the upcoming marketing meeting. Great to see you all.
You too.
Yeah, speak to you later. Cheers.
Bye for now. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.